So hello everyone. Today we will be discussing our PPT based on moment of inertia flywheel. Here are the name of the students and their respective student IDs. Now I would like Gurupal to acknowledge our teachers.
We would like to express our gratitude to our physics professor Mr. P.K. Aluwalia and Shipra Madam for guidance and mentorship in completing our project. The timeline of our project is allotment of project 15 January 2021. Initiated group discussion Google Meet 1 20 January 2021. Alternation in project topic 23 January 2021. Discussion regarding PPT formats Google Meet 2 5 February 2021. Discussion and analysis of current progress with Sir 12 February 2021. Doubts meet with Sir 17 February 2021. Doubts meet with Madam 20 February 2021. Submission of project is 1 March 2021. Now Anish will continue.
So I am going to explain the aim, apparatus, theory and example of the moment of inertia of flywheel. First of all, we will understand about the aim to determine the moment of inertia of a flywheel and the apparatus that we have used in the experiment of moment of inertia of flywheel. These are flywheel, weight hanger, slotted weights, stopwatch and meter scale. And we will study about the least count of the apparatus that we have used. First of all, stopwatch 0.001 seconds. Least count of meter scale 0.1 centimeter is equal to 0.001 meter. And the least count of flywheel mass is equal to 5 kilogram and the weight is equal to 200 gram. You can see that in the picture that uh, capital M is the flywheel mass that is indicated by an arrow and it is rotating by an angular velocity omega radian per second, and you are seeing the bearings of the flywheel, and capital R is the radius in meter of the flywheel. So now I will explain the theory. So first of all, we will understand about the moment of inertia. So we can call moment of inertia by various names. First, we can say that it is moment of inertia, then mass moment of inertia, angular mass, or rotational mass. Typically, the moment of inertia of a rigid body is a quantity that determines the torque needed for a desired angular acceleration about a rotational axis, akin to how mass determines the force needed for a desired acceleration. In simpler word, we can say that the amount or value by which a rigid body resists its angular change is known as moment of inertia. Now we will discuss the dependency of the moment of inertia on various factors. For example, body's mass distribution, the axis that we have chosen with large moments requiring more torque to change the body's rate of rotation. In this diagram, you are seeing the free body diagram or the structure of the moment of inertia of flywheel. Now I will explain why this moment of inertia is important in our life. The physical importance of this moment of inertia is similar to the mass in the linear motion, or we call it as a translational motion. In this translational motion, the mass of body is used for measuring the inertia. As the mass increases, inertia becomes larger. The force required for producing the linear acceleration will also increase. Same in the rotational motion, greater the moment of inertia, angular acceleration will require more torque. So we can say that in the rotational motion and in translational motion, both are correlated with each other. So I will discuss about the factors, or in the on based of three factors on which this moment of inertia dependent. First, the mass of the body. Second, shape, size, and density of the body. And third one is the position of the axis of rotation. And there are also some factors on which the moment of inertia doesn't depend, or we can say that independent of these factors. That is torque, angular momentum, angular velocity, and angular acceleration. Now I will give some example of the rigid body that follow the moment of inertia. First, the solid disk along the perpendicular axis passing through center, and its formula is I is equal to 1 upon 2 capital M capital R square. Second one is circular ring along the perpendicular axis passing through the center, I is equal to MR square. And the third one is solid cylinder along the perpendicular axis passing through the center, I is equal to 1 upon 2 MR square. You can see this picture on your screen also. Now I would like Nitish to go forward with the derivation part of the moment of inertia of flywheel.
Now I am going to explain the derivation of the moment of inertia of the flywheel. The result, okay, let us consider the mv, the mass of the white hanger and the hanging rings, that is weight assembly. When the mass m descends through a high hedge, the loss in potential energy is given by the formula P loss equal to mgh. The resulting gain of kinetic energy in the rotating flywheel assembly, that is flywheel and the axle, is given by K flywheel equal to half I omega square, where I is the moment of inertia of the flywheel assembly and the omega is the angular velocity at the instant the weight assembly touches the ground. The gain and also the weight assembly also gains some kinetic energy as it descends through height. That is k weight is given by the formula k weight equal to half mv square, where v is the velocity at the instant the weight assembly touches the ground, and the and there will be frictional force acting on the flywheel assembly, which there might be some work done in overcoming the friction of the ball bearing supporting the flywheel assembly. That is given by W friction equal to NWF, where N is the number of times the cord is wrapped around the axle, and WF is the work done to overcome the frictional torque in rotating the flywheel assembly completely once. Therefore, from the law of conservation of energy, we get that potential energy loss equal to K kinetic energy gained by the flywheel plus kinetic energy gained by the weight system plus work done against a frictional force. On substituting the respective values, we get mgh equal to half I omega square plus half mv square plus NWF. Now, kinetic energy of the flywheel assembly is expected in rotating n times against the same frictional torque. Therefore, we get NWF equal to half I omega square. That implies WF equal to half I omega square divided by N, where N is the number of revolutions that flywheel goes through. If R is the radius of axle, then V velocity of the weight assembly is related to R by the equation V equal to omega R. Substituting the value of V and WF in the uh, uh, energy equation, we get mgh half I omega square plus half mr square omega square plus small n by capital N into half I omega square. Now solving the above equation for moment of inertia, we get moment of inertia, that is I equal to number of revolutions into mass mass of the hanging divided by number of revolutions plus number of times it is being wrapped into 2gh by omega square minus r square. uh, the terminology here is I is the moment of inertia of the flywheel assembly, N is the number of rotations of the flywheel before it stops, M is the mass of the rings, N is the number of violence the string on the axle, where G is the acceleration due to gravity of the environment, H is the height of the weight assembly from the ground, R is the radius of the axle. In the formula, we have to find the omega also, where omega is the simply twice the angular average omega, that is omega equal to 4 pi n by t. Now we can get the formula to find out the moment of inertia of the flywheel assembly.
So now I'll be explaining how the simulation works. So here, as you can see, on the right hand side, we have choosing for environment, the mass of flywheel, diameter of flywheel, mass of rings, diameter of axle, and number of wounds on cord. So as you can see, we can change the mass of flywheel, the diameter of flywheel, mass of rings, and the diameter of axle according to our needs, and also the number of wounds on the cord. After we have adjusted all these things, we will release the flywheel now. So the flywheel starts to rotate, and similarly the mass suspended lowers down. Now as soon as the mass drops, the flywheel starts to rotate, and now we will measure the number of revolutions over here on the counter, and similarly the time taken for these n revolutions. So as you can see, this was the time taken, that is 38 seconds for the flywheel to stop, and 11.65 was the total number of revolutions performed. Now I would like Gurupal to explain about our self-evaluation reports.
These are the self-evaluation reports of our group member. First is taken by me, second is taken by Anish, third is taken by Ishan, and fourth is taken by Nitish. Now Ishan will continue.
Now we will start with our observations part. The first part coming with variation of moment of inertia with acceleration due to gravity. The website offered us certain features which include changing the environment, that is changing the acceleration due to gravity. Here I have changed the acceleration due to gravity from 1.63 meter per second square on Moon to 25.95 meter per second square on Jupiter. Here I have kept the mass suspended m, that is 200 grams, as a constant. Similarly, I have kept the radius of axle on 1 centimeters constant and the height above the ground, that is 6.28 centimeters, as a constant. Here I have measured the number of revolutions that came on the counter as 22.92 revolutions for all the readings. Here are the corresponding time taken for the n revolutions in seconds. And there are these angular velocities of the mass of flywheel, and similarly there are the moment of inertias of these following. Here is the graph that was plotted by these 5 readings. The first point is taken as Moon, the second point as Earth at 9.8 meter per second square, then Uranus at 10.5 meter per second square, and then Saturn at 11.08 meter per second square, and finally the massive Jupiter at 25.95 meter per second square. Here the graph comes out to be linear. That was expected according to the theory. Now I would like Anish to explain his part.
I have taken readings of moment of inertia by varying the mass of flywheel and keeping all other quantities to be constant. First of all, now I will elaborate the readings. I have taken the value of acceleration due to gravity g as 9.8 meter per second square and keeping it constant in all the readings. Then mass of flywheel, capital M in kilogram, I vary it with the difference of 5 in each reading from processing with the 5, 10, 15 up to 50. And the suspended mass, small m in gram, I have taken 600 gram and keeping constant in all of the readings. And the radius of axle, small r in centimeter, 2 centimeter, I have taken it and keeping constant in all of the readings. And radius of flywheel, capital R in centimeter, I have taken 15 centimeter and keeping it constant. And height above the ground is small s centimeter, which is 62.857 centimeter and keeping it constant. And number of cord windings, small n, is 5 that I have taken and keeping constant. And number of revolution, capital N, that I have got from the reading is 67.52 from first reading up to 11.08 in the last reading. And the time for capital N revolution is 77.6 seconds in the first and 62.718 till the last reading. So these are the value of angular velocity and moment of inertia of the flywheel that we have get from these readings. By observing the graph, I observe that the moment of inertia varies approximately linearly with the mass of flywheel. Now I would like Nitish to carry on with his readings part.
I have performed the experiment by changing the radius of axle and keeping the rest of the thing constant. I kept value of gravity 9.8 on it. Mass of the flywheel equal to 5 kgs and suspended mass small m equal to 200 grams. And radius of axle I have changed, and radius of flywheel I kept 5 centimeters. And the number of cord windings, that is small n, I kept 2. And as I change radius of axle, height above the ground also changes because it depends on the radius of axle. Let me explain my first reading. The first reading I have kept radius of axle equal to 1, so that I got height above the ground equal to 12.56. For these readings, I got number of revolutions equal to 42.6. It took 59.936 seconds to do that many revolutions. For this, I got angular velocity equal to 8.93. I got 0.005871198. Now let me explain my graph. I got this graph based on my readings because I have changed the radius of axle, due to which height above the ground also changes, and also for every reading n, that is number of revolutions, and the time taken also changes, so that I got this graph. There is no That's it. Now I'll request Gurupal to explain.
I have taken these readings by taking G at 9.8 as a constant, suspended mass at 400 grams as a constant, radius of axle at 1.5 centimeter as a constant, radius of flywheel at varying from 5 to 15 centimeter, height above the ground at 47.1 centimeter as a constant, number of cord windings small n is equals to 5 as a constant, number of revolution also changes because of I am changing the radius of flywheel. Time taken for capital N revolution also changes because number of revolution capital N is varies. For first reading, I have taken G as 9.8, suspended mass small m is equals to 400 grams, radius of axle is equals to 1.5 centimeter, radius of flywheel is equals to 5 centimeter, height above the ground is 47.1 centimeter, number of windings small n is equals to 5, number of revolution capital N is equals to 59.36, time taken for capital N revolution is equals to 72.501 second. For this reading, I have got moment of inertia of flywheel is equals to 0.032065273 kilogram meter square. All other readings are taken in the same way, and moment of inertia of flywheel is calculated by the formula. This is my graph plotted on the basis of my readings. This graph looks like a straight line, and I can say that moment of inertia of flywheel linearly dependent on the radius of flywheel. Now Anish will continue.
Flywheels can be used to store energy and used to produce very high electric power pulses for experiments, where drawing the power from the public electric network would produce unacceptable spikes. A small motor can accelerate the flywheel between the pulses. And the second real life example is the phenomena of precision has to be considered when using flywheels in moving vehicles. However, in one modern application, a momentum wheel is a type of flywheel useful in satellite pointing operations, in which the flywheel are used to point the satellite's instruments in correct direction without the use of thruster rockets. And the third real life example that we saw in our life is flywheels are used in punching machines and riveting machines. For internal combustion engine application, the flywheel is a heavy wheel mounted on the crankshaft. The main function of a flywheel is to maintain a near constant angular velocity of the crankshaft. Now I would like Ishan to go forward with the numerical problem and solution of the moment of inertia of the flywheel.
Okay, thank you, Anish. Now I will be explaining a question taken from the internet. It is a simple question that we have all solved during our JEE preparation. The question says, an energy of 484 joules is spent in increasing the speed of a flywheel from 60 revolutions per minute to 360 revolutions per minute. Now, the task is to calculate the moment of inertia of a flywheel. Here, I have taken the frequencies like mu1 is equal to 60 revolutions per minute, which is converted into 1 hertz. The second, mu2 is 360 revolutions per minute, which corresponds to 6 hertz. Now, I would be calculating the angular velocities. So, omega 1 is 2 pi mu1, which is nothing but 2 into pi, which is 6.28 radians per second. Then omega 2, which is 2 pi mu2, which is 2 into pi into 6, which is 37.68 radians per second. Now I would apply the conservation of energy for calculating the moment of inertia. Here the energy spent will be developed into the difference between the rotational kinetic energies, which is half I omega 2 square minus half I omega 1 square. Here 484 equals half into I into 37.8 square minus 6.28 square. Here 484 equals I into 690.17. Therefore, the moment of inertia comes out to be 0.7 kilogram meter square. Hence, our final result comes out to be the moment of inertia is 0.7 kilogram meter square. Now, I would like Gurupal to move forward with his problems.
I have done these 4 numericals for our PPT work. First numerical is calculate the moment of inertia of a flywheel on earth. If suspended mass is 400 grams, radius of axle is equal to 1.5 cm, radius of flywheel is 15 cm, number of revolution capital N is equal to 11.08, number of chord winding is small n is equal to 5, time taken in n revolution is 38.056 seconds. Then the solution is given that small n is equal to 5, capital N is equal to 11.08, small t is equal to 38.056 seconds, small r is equal to 1.5 centimeter or 0.015 meter, capital R is equal to 15 centimeter or 0.15 meter, small m is equal to 400 grams is equal to 0.4 kg, g is equal to 9.8 meter per second square, angular velocity omega is equal to 4 pi capital N by t. It is calculated 3.66 radian per second. Moment of inertia I is equal to capital N m by capital N plus small n into 2gh by omega square minus r square. Moment of inertia is equal to 0.189 kilogram meter square. And all other numericals are also solved in the same way. The conclusion of this group work is: first conclusion, the graph of moment of inertia versus acceleration due to gravity is a linear curve resembling y is equal to x. The graph of moment of inertia versus mass of flywheel is approximately a linear curve. The graph of moment of inertia versus radius of axle should be a parabola, but in the experimental results, as angular velocity also gets affected by the radius of axle, we are not able to track the exact path. The graph of moment of inertia versus radius of flywheel cannot be predicted directly on the basis of the theory, as it is not dependent. However, after performing the experiment, we can agree that the curve resembling a parabolic function. Issues faced while performing the experiment: the software was not compatible with the manual readings. The simulator readings and user readings could not match really well. Troubleshooting: we all 4 members took manual readings and made the observation table on a spreadsheet. In the self-evaluation assessment sheet, first question was incorrect. Its correct answer is angular momentum. Learnings from the activity: we all understood how to present a certain task assigned and managed it well within ourselves. We understood how to troubleshoot a given error or problem, how to derive certain results from the task at hand. Now Ishan will continue.
Now we will discuss the task distribution between our members. Now I would like to mention that readings were taken by all 4 members. Now moving forward, I will discuss my part. I have done the PPT work for the presentation. Now Anish would continue.
I did the simulation part, that is screen recording of the simulation, and also taken the readings. Now Gurupal will go forward with this task.
I have done the 4 numericals used in this PPT. I have also taken the readings. Now Nitish will continue.
I have done my readings and I have given some video references for the experiment.
Here are the references and links for all the experiments and videos that we have watched. Thank you for listening to us.